Hi there. My name's Gareth Mason. I am doing this video just to make people aware, but I want to make sure that people know from the outset this is not slanderous behaviour at all. It's based on factual evidence that I have in black and white here in my house, and videos that I have, and copies of phone calls. Basically, what happened in October 2017, I collapsed in New York, and I was taken into hospital, and an ambulance arrived, and I don't remember most of this. I'm just going on what I heard from a friend of mine that was there. They wouldn't take me to hospital unless I signed some iPad or something. So when I was barely conscious, I was told to sign this iPad before I went into hospital. I was taken into hospital, wasn't even on a ward. They put me in a hallway, but I was strapped up to drips and had magnesium and potassium put into my body because they said that's what I was lacking. I was in there for ages. I asked many times, can I leave? And I'm unaware that you can discharge yourself. I didn't know that. But they kept me in and kept me in and kept me in. But I had to fly home the next day. So I said, I really do need to leave now. And they let me leave. And then I tried to pay for my treatment in the hope that I would get the money back from my insurance company. Apparently the payment didn't go through, and I went back to my hotel, and they said before I left they'll just invoice me, and that's fine. Went back to my hotel, packed, had a couple of hours sleep, and went home on the plane. And on the plane I read my discharge notes, which was 60 pages long, and it showed up as, in one of them, as I had cocaine in my urine, which is ridiculous because I don't do drugs. I absolutely don't do drugs. And when I landed, I was really concerned because obviously I couldn't do anything when I was airborne. When I landed, I phoned my insurance company, and they were like, oh, well, we're not going to insure you if that's the case. You might want to go back to your doctor and get a blood test or something. And I went to my GP and said, can I have a blood test and can I have a urine test and whatever? And he said, there's probably no point now because it would have been out of your system had you taken it. And then he asked me, did you take anything else? Like, did you take anything when you were in New York? And I said, no, I just took my normal medication. So I described my medication, and he said, really think about it. Did you take anything else? I said, well, I took Sudafed because I get congested on the flight due to the air conditioning. And he said, well, there's your answer. And I said, well, what do you mean? Sudafed is not cocaine. He said it can show up as cocaine. So I went back to the American hospital, who were awful. They wouldn't listen to me. They wouldn't say anything. And then I went to the insurance company and told them. And they flagged up something. I don't know what it was, but they said 5 years ago something on your medical records is not right. And I was a little bit like taken back by that, and I thought, what wasn't right 5 years ago? Because nothing's happened to me. And then they said, and we certainly weren't insure you or pay out because of the analysis that's happened. So anyway, I did my research. I've got a lot of friends that are doctors in London, and I've spoken to them, and they said the Sudafed thing is a thing that happens that does show up as illegal drugs. And I scanned in the what's the word, the packaging of the Sudafed that I took, sent it to the insurance company and whatever, and for it was 2.5 years, I've been fighting and fighting and fighting because of my profession and the industry that I'm in. If you're seen to be taking cocaine or whatever flagged up, you won't get a job again. And I thought, well, if I don't fight this, that's my career done. So I fought and I fought and I fought, and people were saying to me, "You look so tired. You look upset, and just leave it." And I said, I can't, because my passion is acting and performing and stuff. And sometimes when you're doing films and TV and commercials and whatever, they ask for a medical. If that showed up, I would never, ever, ever work again. So I fought and I fought and I fought. And I won in the end, because they admitted that there was a mistake or something. They paid out, but over 2.5 years, I was sending documents to America. Huge documents that were costing like 70 quid a pop. I was making phone calls to America every single week, and so my phone bill was like astronomical, like 350 quid. So the bill that they sent me initially was $29,000, and I've probably spent 24,000 UK pounds on fighting my case just to get my life back, my career back. It took me 37 years to be the person that I am. But this insurance company, it took 37 days to destroy me. And now I'm starting from scratch. And I just don't feel that in my heart of hearts, I'm a bit of a softie, but the reason why I'm doing this video is because I think people should be aware of it. And I don't want anyone to go through what I did for 2.5 years. And then 4 months ago, my friend recorded a video of me calling the American hospital. And I spoke to a really lovely woman there. And I'm not going to disclose her name for data protection purposes. But I asked her, I said, how many times has my insurance company called you? Because they take a log of everything. And she said they've never, ever, ever called us. And I said, are you serious? She said, no. She said, all the call log is just you calling. So I was paying for someone who I thought was a respectable company, Virgin Money, and Map3, their underwriter, and Travel Services Limited or something. I was paying the money to do absolutely nothing. And she said the whole log on this file is just you calling. and you sending recorded delivery letters, medical records, whatever. They did absolutely nothing. And I do have that evidence, but obviously I can't post it because I spoke to the lady and she said that, my job could be in jeopardy if you did post that on social media. And I said, you've been a wonderful help. I would never do that to anyone in my life. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are looking for holidays at the moment and stuff, but be very, very wary of the travel company that you go for. Because this travel company went back 5 years on my medical records when in their terms and conditions they should only go back 2 years. They also did absolutely nothing. They also have an underwriter that is a Spanish company, which is very manana, like don't really do anything. So my advice would be try and this is not slanderous again, but try and research your insurance companies, because the one that I went through has basically destroyed my life for the last 3 years. There's no other way I can describe it. And I'm taking it day by day just to build up my confidence again. And it's also caused me more health issues than I even had before. Well, I didn't have any before, but I mean, after the collapse, I've not been sleeping. I've been rushed into hospital. And I just don't think people should get away with that just for the sake of money. I mean, what kind of world is this? That people are more money orientated than looking after people. And I paid money for them to look after me, and they didn't do a thing. But that's all I'm going to say. This is not slanderous against the company. Like, I'm not doing it in a horrible way. I'm just saying to the general public, please research your travel insurance companies, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy at all. And the fact that they didn't do any work and you pay them to do work, I find, quite frankly, disgusting.